Russell, you're first on the agenda.
I
How
am.
did that happen? Oh, we usually make you guys wait to the
We'll have
end.
you challenge.
Put them at the end, yeah.
I guess you knew I had to go play floor hockey at 7 o'clock.
Counselors are gonna do their own challenge.
That's an awful lot.
But you're right.
Okay. I need a competition.
That stays hot forever.
Part of the checklist.
Is
I honestly
everybody
don't
here?
know what you're supposed to do anyway.
Everybody?
Is everybody here? Yeah. Okay, well, why don't we get started then? We'll call this to order. And Russell somehow became the first presenter this evening. You're up, Russ. Why are you here?
I'm here to talk about the Community Wellness Challenge. How many here have heard about it? So about half the room has heard about the Community Wellness. Good, that means I'm going to be sharing something with some of you. My name, by the way, is Russ Thorne, and I work as a regional community health developer for the Northern Health Region. And I got a little presentation. Now, why did we call it the Community Wellness Challenge? Why wellness? Well, the whole reason behind calling it the Wellness Challenge is basically, if you haven't heard already, 70 to 80% of chronic health conditions are related to our lifestyle health habits we choose. And that's why we shot for something that's take a look at our approach to try and address this issue. So that's where we came up with the Wellness Challenge. And I've put a handout that's pretty well going to give you kind of a general outline of what I'm talking about today. But in the Wellness Challenge, we look at a couple things. We look at exercise, sleep, healthy relationships, stress management, nutrition, tobacco and alcohol use, water and sunshine, and how they have an effect on our health. So during the challenge, that is the things that we're looking at having people set goals on. So what's the purpose of the Community Wellness Challenge? Well, it's to help us support individuals making healthier life choices. So as I go through it, you're going to see what we've put together, and we've done this for the last 4 to 5 years. So it's a system that we have that's out there that is to help people look at making some choices. It also builds community spirit, and I'm going to explain how that actually works when the challenge happens. So first of all, what is it? It's a free event. There's no charge. We want to bring people to the table. We want people to get involved, make some changes. Chances to win great prizes. And we've had prizes over the 4 to 5 different years that we've had it. And it's basically following simple tick sheets. And I'm just going to pass a couple down this way if you want to take a look at it. See, you can pass one down. That has some very simple goals on it, our lifestyle changes. And a person over the 4 weeks would fill out each one of those cards, and you basically cut it off for the 1 week, and you would submit that in as your ballot for prizes. The other thing we also have, which is interesting that we do during that, is what we call the bingo bonus card. And that is over the whole month. And during that, again, participants fill that out to the best of their ability, going through it, trying the different things that are on the card. And that is considered a ballot for a draw also. So by putting your name on that and you submit that, that gets put into a draw. We also have a number of presentations going on during the 4 weeks of the Wellness Challenge. And there's pretty well something happening almost every day except for Sundays. And the presentations are there to kind of help people with their trying to set their goals, reaching their changes in their lifestyle habits during the event. And when does this start? It doesn't start till April 29th. So we have lots of time to get the word out, and that's what I'm doing today. And it runs for 4 weeks. Now, who can participate? Well, it's open to all residents of the PAW, OCN, and the Arm of Kelsey. As long as you're over 4 years old, you can get involved. You can register on your own, or as a partner, that's 2 people, or as a family, or as a group, and as a team of 4. Now, a group could be a whole business signing up for the challenge, and also which we really promote, is getting classrooms involved. So I have just some sample registration forms if you want to take a look at them. And so there's many ways to get involved. And it's not just for someone that's trying to make changes, it's also for people that already made changes. So it's kind of like an inoculation. If you're already doing, getting enough sleep and eating enough fruits and vegetables and doing some of the things that are on there, by being involved in this, it just is a reminder to keep up your healthy lifestyle. Now last year, we had the most people involved. We had 250 people plus. And about 100 of them came from kids in classrooms. And last year was great. We had so many classes get involved. But as you know, there's so many schools, we didn't even touch on all the schools that we could. This year we're really pushing it forward to really get the kids involved in a bigger way. So what does it involve? It's based on participation. It's not on being perfect. And what I mean by that is, it's not about having all the dots or lines crossed saying that I ate fruits and vegetables 7 days a week. If you never ate fruits and vegetables before, that's a pretty big task. But let's say you make a goal to eat it twice a week. We consider that a success. And you would still put in your ballot, because the ballots are all random. So when you put it in, you have a chance like anyone else. So it's on your own personal goals. So it's making an effort to work towards and achieve and maintain your listed wellness goals. So you take up the challenge in your own way. That's the great thing about this. So that's even though it says a challenge, it's not a competition. It's a challenge to yourself, basically. So how are some ways to win some prizes? Just by participating, just by signing up for the Wellness Challenge. So at the beginning, we have everyone fill out a pre-questionnaire, wellness questionnaire. So you get a snapshot where you're at. And how much water am I drinking? How much fruits and vegetables am I eating? How much sleep am I getting? How physically active I am? And then you also fill one out, a post one at the end, so you can compare the two and get an idea of have you made the changes you were trying to do. It also has, as I mentioned, you have the Wellness Challenge tick sheet, which I passed around for you to take a look at. That is that's your ballot. When you submit that, each one of them each week, that's a chance to win prizes also. Then there's also the Wellness Challenge Bingo Bonus Card. As we mentioned, out of the 4 weeks when you fill that out and you submit that, you also have chances to win prizes. And again, if you had a chance to look at some of the presentations, just by coming to the presentation, your name gets put into a draw for prizes. So you go to the presentations you want to go to. You don't have to go to all of them, you go to the ones that interest you. And of course, special events, we have, during that we had purchased some free swims and some free, depending on when it runs, free skates, free open gym, these kind of things. Special events happen during the Wellness Challenge. So you receive entries into the random draws for prizes. Like I said, everyone has a chance. It's not on being perfect. So at the end of the Wellness Challenge, there's a celebration. In the past, we've had it in the arena, and we had over about 150 people attend. So it was quite packed, and it was quite interesting to have that many people come out for the celebration in the past. And as I mentioned, if you sign up as an individual, you're only in the individual category. You're not competing against people in the partner category or the family category or the teams or groups or classrooms. They're each separate categories. So everyone that enters has a chance to win a prize in their category. So how can you register? By filling out the registration form that I passed around and filling out the right one for your category that you choose to sign up. And also fill out the pre and post Community Wellness Challenge questionnaire at each partner location. New this year, we're trying to set it up so that you can register online. So we'll still have the ability to sign up through paper, because there's people that prefer to do it that way, but we're also setting it up so it'll be online. And hopefully that'll make it easier for some individuals that like to do it that way. So what's the support? We'll have resources that happen, the presentations to help out, and every year we have the headquarters at the Paw Recreation and Wellness Center. That's the main headquarters, and we have our resource table set up and the resources there, any of the presentations that have been done. Also, just to let you know, there's about the community spirit. What happens during the Wellness Challenge, and we've approached different businesses in the past, is to get them on board, to have them be part of the Wellness Challenge by showcasing wellness and healthy living products during those 4 weeks, by offering discounts in their stores. They get a plaque, they put it in their window saying that they're involved in the Wellness Challenge. So it's getting the whole community involved. The other thing is we also approach restaurants to get them involved, to offer healthy meal choices, have some literature about the Wellness Challenge so that we get everyone involved with it. And of course, during that we have media involved with reporting what's going on about the presentations and special events. And here's a key thing. We want everyone to be involved. Let's say we have someone that doesn't want to commit for 4 weeks. They're not ready to commit for 4 weeks, but they want to go to a presentation. The presentations are open to everyone in the community, regardless if you're in the Wellness Challenge. The whole thing is to bring people to the table to start looking at changing their lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, to a healthier way of looking at things. So the presentations are open to everyone. And as I mentioned, it's not just for individuals in the challenge. The other thing, that question that's brought up is, though we have a strong partnership with the Kelsey Rec, which is Town of the Paw, the question that's brought up is, do you have to be a member of the Wellness Center? And we want to keep this community-wide, so no, you don't have to be a member of the Wellness Center, but we hope that brings people to the Wellness Center to look at getting involved in some of the programs that are there. So it's a win-win. So these are the partners we have right now. And it's basically, you can see that Kelsey Recreation is there, which is the Town of the Paw. And as being a partner, in the past, you guys have donated time and space and manpower to get things done, just as everyone has done it out of the group that's there as partners. In the past, we would usually have grant funding. This year, we have no grant funding, and we are trying to move forward to be more sustainable, where we're not always worried if we'll get funding or not. So we have started off with looking for sponsors and having the partners in kind, and we feel we can actually move forward with that. We do have some funds started already. So that brings me to, you guys are already helping us with in-kind types, but we're looking towards having support, some sort of seed money from each one of our partners. Not a lot. When I talk about seed money, I'm talking about something like $250 to $500 in that range, to help us have money to say, okay, we can move forward. And we basically are approaching each one of the partners that are involved. Because we have some expenses that it's hard to have money to support it for in-kind purposes, such as prizes and incentives. There's cost for food and the cooking classes that we have during the presentations. We have community and school events that happen during that time. The advertisement. In the past, we've had very little for advertisement budget, so there's a lot of individuals that haven't heard about the Wellness Challenge. How many here have seen the ice sculpture with about the Wellness Challenge? We came in second, by the way. Came in second. So we're trying unique ways to try and get the message out by promoting the Wellness Challenge. And of course, there's expenses for the celebration. We have some sponsors on board, but we also, as I'm here today, to look for a little bit of seed money along with what you guys are already doing with your in-kind to support the challenge. And of course, that all you guys here will participate in your own way in the challenge, whether you're family, whether individual, whether as partners, whether as a team, whether you just come to the presentations, as I mentioned, in some way. So we have a funding tier system we've developed, and we're just finalizing it right now. We'll probably have some minor changes to the top figures, the two top numbers. But basically, we're looking at sponsors having some benefits to being sponsors with the challenge. So that's basically what it looks like. So we do have, I have a letter for the town of the pub. There you go. That's the letter. Would you guys like more than just one?
They're attached to your agenda.
Yeah?
We have,
Do you have them? Okay. I'm not sure if I sent this, the letter. The one thing I didn't probably send, which I will give you guys, is some of these. I think I should have enough of those to go around.
how much money do you need to raise, Russ?
Well, we ran the challenge with a working sum of $1,500 in the past. So somewhere between $1,500 and $5,000 is what we ran the wellness challenge on, with the rest being in kind, like administrative support and resources for running the presentations at facilities and things. So overall, the wellness challenge adds up to a large dollar, but a lot of it is done in kind. So it's a small amount of some expenses that you just can't get in kind, that you need some sort of funds. So we're looking for some sponsors, which we have, as I mentioned, and then of course our partners offering some seed money too. This is what we're looking at. Is there any questions about the Community Wellness Challenge? On the last handout I gave you, there, besides having the tier systems, sponsorship tier system that passed around, on the other side it shows where our needs are. On the bottom in more of the gray box that we're looking from. And the partners are more, are playing a larger part by evolving by the space and things that they have. If that's it, then thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Any questions for Russ? Anybody? No? Okay, thank you. We will talk about this.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
If I could, thank you. Let me get those back.
Can you keep that or do you want
I don't know if it's sign up for the vegetable.
Yeah, I'd use it on that one.
What's that? Vegetables? I don't know, it starts with a B, I think. Vegetables?
Vegetables. Eat it with chips.
Yeah.
What do they eat for vegetables in a week?
Or chips and potato?
You're okay if we carry on?
You guys, sure. If you don't mind, it just take me a little time to go away and stuff out of here.
Okay, why don't we talk about 1.2, June districts?
So basically, we get requested from the AMM if there is any resolutions that we want brought forward to the June district meeting. In the past, we have brought forward some on schools, which are still online, are still in negotiations with the province and with AMM. Budget was released, there's some funds for development. Is there anything else that council would like to bring forward as a resolution? It's kind of more for our area, something that would affect the province.
And we have till June 1st?
Yeah, to get them in. Just in the past, we haven't really, we've submitted the same stuff. And they're working on it, so unless,
Standing ones, yeah.
they keep working on them, but there's no response to them yet. So this is just, if there's any further issues that council would like to take to the AMN level at this
Would they
time.
bring something to the RCMP if they bring up? Well, what I'm getting at is that the money like from proceeds of crime, that I just kind of, I don't know why we have to fill out an application to go and do that. Like, to me, if that's something you get approved, it's like, why wouldn't we just get that? Like, they should be saying, hey, listen, this is proceeds of crime in your area. You know, we're gonna take 50 off the bill that we sent you this year because of the proceeds of crime, or
Sure.
because we missed. It's kind of unfortunate we missed the deadline by a little while because of something that we didn't we weren't really aware of. And,
So a resolution, I'm just confirming, so to send a resolution so that moving forward, that any kind of money that was through the crime, that it comes directly, we don't have to apply, just that it
Yeah,
automatically.
Percentages.
yeah,
It's like that forfeiture act, is that what it is?
What?
The forfeiture act?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Municipality, yeah, we'll bring that forward then for the next meeting.
So we have a little bit of time, you guys can think about it, right? They're generally issues that are big picture in scope, you know, that we can get the province to help us on.
Something might come up at your March convention that you want to bring forward as a result of something you've heard.
Okay. Policy for reporting on attendance at courses.
So we do have a policy, this was something brought forward in the past. We talked about maybe doing a different practice with it. There is a policy that basically says that they report on their course. What we've done in the past is just told HR if it was good or not, so that moving forward, but maybe we can do a more formal written report so that it's in the files for someone new and upcoming. However, when Jen did review this policy, there were a lot of amendments that needed to be made. So we're requesting that this be brought forward.
So the example would be, so if we asked Chris, he went away to a course, right?
Yeah.
Did he submit a report to you?
He basically told us it's an ongoing report as it relates to the asset management course.
Yeah, no, but did he give you an update formally?
He hasn't been back yet, no.
And then, so, okay, so that, who else has been just away on the training course?
Most of
Or a
them are
conference.
seminars, most of them are
Well,
conferences versus.
Summers too, so Amber went away to
Okay.
rec connect, and did we get a report back to say, hey, I went away, thank you for the opportunity to meet and my peers, here's what I learned, here's what I think we can bring to the table and try to do next in this coming year.
We basically just have a discussion, and what I'm saying is maybe moving forward, we put it in writing.
Yeah.
And put it in a file, so that it's written, so that if someone changes hands, people know moving forward, this wasn't so great, or this was great.
Yeah, so when I read through this policy, and I can't find it now, but there was something in here that said that you provide a report, right?
It was,
It'll be in your procedure.
yeah. Is it page 2 or 3?
Well, my apologies, I was looking for it, I did read this one.
Not very closely.
No, I didn't.
Number 5, it's number 5 on page 3,
Yeah.
Yeah.
procedure.
Yeah, so employer whose costs will be paid, whatever, required to complete an evaluation report on the attended event. So it's already a policy that we don't follow.
Yeah, we just follow it differently. We just do a verbal report. And now I'm saying what we'll do is move forward with doing a written report.
Well, how is it, these reports will be submitted to the department head for review and comment, and then forwarded to the chief administrative officer. How do you submit a verbal report?
This was generally when you asked me specifically what managers do when they come back from a course and what was our comments with it and how we've dealt with it. That is what I did, was they would come back, they would give me a report, and then we knew moving forward that, yeah, if we're sending them or not. What I'm saying is moving forward, what I will do is when a manager comes to me and provides that report, we will put it in writing and ensure it goes in a file so that future people know, not just me. And most of the courses that our employees take are mandated by legislation or job duty, you know, such as water treatment plant or something like that.
Yeah, I get that, that's training, and there's
Yeah.
an evaluation at the end of it is usually a test. And if you pass the
Mhm.
test, then you obviously, there's certain things, but when it comes to optional training or travel, we have to be doing it for a reason, right? And I know for the most part, there is good reason why we do it, but we should have something, we should be trying to learn something here. So, no, that's good, thanks.
Okay.
So, a resolution adopting amendments?
Yeah, and should we clarify in there that it be a written report as opposed to just a?
Yeah?
Yeah, so let's clarify it's a written report.
And maybe just that it's held in a file, I guess.
It would
You know what
be
I
a
mean?
personnel file, is where it
Where,
should
is that where it would go?
be.
Yeah?
Should be in a training file and in a personnel.
Okay.
Okay. AMM attendance, the agenda's there for Tuesday and Wednesday. It's my understanding as it stands right now, Rod and I will be there Monday for the Reeve and Mayor's portion. And who's coming for Tuesday, Wednesday?
Over there.
Larry, Billy, Chad?
No.
No? Trevor? No?
No.
Carrie?
Yep,
Yep.
I need to arrange my travel.
And Andre?
Yep.
I think Chris is supposed to go.
Yeah, this is going.
Yeah, just gotta make contact.
And I may be going on a Sunday to hit the Monday afternoon one.
Yeah, is there an agenda for Mondays?
Nothing yet.
I don't even have a start time or where to go.
It's 1 o'clock, that's all we got. And it's to the same center.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's mayors, reeves, CAOs. They always have it ahead of time.
Okay.
So when they, like at 11 o'clock, do you choose one of those sessions?
Yeah.
So I guess before we go, we should kind of try to spread out, right? And
Yes.
just hit everybody, hit something new. So I vote not to go to the financial statement one. I called it.
Okay, so you folks who will be there for Tuesday, you'll show up Monday is my guess? Monday, everybody be in the city?
Yep.
Yeah? All right, well, why don't we get together Monday evening somewhere and work on a plan of what we're gonna do,
Yep.
okay? So we'll figure it out, who's gonna go to what session. But you're right, we shouldn't all go to the same session.
Yeah, I'm exactly trying.
Generally, her and I as staff and Chris would be going to 3 separate ones also.
Yeah, good. Okay, and while you're there, ask as many questions as you can, talk to any ministers you see.
Three
Bill,
cup.
Andre, and myself.
And her.
Okay, so then you need to be in 2 places at one time.
I do that all the time.
Simple.
Is that normal?
Yeah. All right.
Couple budget travel.
Tidy up this place on Tuesdays. Every other day you can leave her be.
I think this is a really good program. We're looking at a contribution of $525, and Jen said, why couldn't this come from the Community Enhancement Fund? Or get sponsors. We have some time, very little time, but I think maybe we can get this out there, look at what we're doing, and I'm sure we could get a few sponsors, and whatever we need other than that, I'm sure Community Enhancement would help us out.
Yeah, I think we should absolutely participate.
Be a great community thing to try to get a competition going amongst businesses and even others, right? Even in the community. I remember when I was younger, there was that whole challenge with the cleanest neighborhood and the
Tidiest back lane.
tidiest back lane.
Oh,
and
really?
stuff. So it would be, that would be a real good, and then, you know, it'd be nice to be able to tie this at the end of this thing into some sort of like park gathering and
A barbecue or something.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
I don't know if anybody's seen it, but there's a pretty big movement, like going across the whole world right now, trash tag, they call it. And it's a pretty big thing, like basically you go out and you pick up garbage and you take a picture and it's, instead of hashtag, it's trash tag.
I shared that actually.
Yeah, and it's huge. It's like everywhere right now. And like maybe this could be tied in, like I'm just thinking to tie it into social media somehow. And I don't know, but it's interesting that it's huge everywhere right now, so.
It was basically take a selfie of an area, or take a picture of an area with yourself in it and show how crappy it looks, and then you take some
Yeah,
garbage
sure.
bags, you show it at the end, and it's,
Yeah.
it's a positive, definitely a positive.
Okay, so we're gonna participate in this
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
and we're gonna find the money from somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay,
Carrie, I believe Chambers said they would be part of it too, right?
We did last year.
Yeah, and then it just never got off the
Yeah.
ground. Okay, I'll get a hold of
So I'm not
Chambers.
saying.
No,
that
I
Chamber
understand,
will,
yeah.
But yeah, you betcha.
I'll get a hold
It's
of them.
something that, right?
We've talked about
Right?
it.
Yeah, we've discussed it.
Okay,
I think we're waiting for a formal letter.
Yeah.
yeah, We'll do that.
So $10 to join?
$10 for your kit.
First part.
Yeah,
Would
it'd
it
just
be
be $10.
helpful, like who's running this, Jen, like is that
I
some-
kind of,
Because
thought
I think
I
this
would.
is a
I
great
would take
opportunity
it.
for us to kind of create a smaller committee and try to make this, you know, without you trying to do it on your own. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm willing to help out and
Sure.
Same here.
try to create a big thing out of this and
Okay.
make it a good community event for, could run all summer.
So we'll make a subcommittee, 100, Bill, Larry.
Well,
This
There you go.
this is
Be part
also
of that one for
something
sure.
too
So you could
that
take this into the school
the chamber
kids, like after school on
subcommittees
Tuesday?
could join in on. So it could
Doesn't even have
possibly
to be on.
consist of.
No, whatever
eight
day,
people.
just an after school type thing.
Okay,
We
so
could do it during school.
Andre, Larry, and Bill will be the
Yeah.
subcommittee?
Yeah, with Jen,
yeah.
you gotta have somebody to do all the work. These two guys with me.
No, I'm okay with taking,
Get somebody to share the work with me. I do it on a different scale already. Take my quad and trailer and clean up the areas.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
very good. Payroll and accounts, disbursement reports.
So we would require a resolution for pay period number 5 in the amount of $93,127.70. Town checks in the amount of $197,568.36. EFTs in the amount of $104,260.19. We will also require a resolution for check number 22548 in the amount of $65. A lot of the expenses you'll see here are fuel, some road salt, and the VADM yearly fee for our computer program.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. I had 3 questions. Edmund Trucking,
That's your calcium salt.
the salt, okay. I couldn't figure that. University of Manitoba,
That would have been for my upcoming course.
$12,000.
Oh, no, that's not it.
I think it was
I wish.
University of Manitoba's only 3.
3,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that good of a course.
Yeah. And the other one, and you said VADM that's a computer
That's for a program what we pay per year.
to.
For a system for our tax roll, for our utilities, like specific to running the town of the Paw, our purchase orders. Our program is called VADM.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know what that
Yeah.
name was. Oh, that's good.
What did we do for safety training consultant? Protect, $1,700.
Wasn't that the first date? No?
I don't know. Speak until I see.
Which one is it?
Just this,
And you have a check number, sorry.
22546.
That was all training. Would that be our first aid and CPR?
First aid
Yeah.
and CPR.
Well, for all
There was
the
one,
employees?
yeah, for January 28th, 29th, yeah.
Nobody local does that?
That is local. I think that's what they call themselves.
Oh, really?
That would be Reg.
Reg.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay, all right, good. Good, okay.
See, because Reg is not, I thought his name was something different.
Red Jackson.
Pretty sure that was him that, can you see if it was
Think it
the
is?
invoiced it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought that was a local company.
That looks like Reg to me.
Yeah,
Could be
box
wrong.
3087 the Paw, yeah, that would be Reg, yeah.
Might have changed his name.
Any questions on any of the other checks, folks? No? EFTS is. Okay, we're good with the checks? General accounts, yep. All right, 1.7, lakefront law extension request.
I'm gonna step out for the next two agenda items.
I mean, from what they're saying, the Fenners, it doesn't make sense. It's, you know, it's gonna be, if they're doing what they're saying they're doing now, and then winter's coming right after that. I don't have any concerns with providing that. They pay the $1,000, it's in the program. And if they're progressing and putting the money in, what is it then? So I would support that.
Yeah, well, I think a 1-year extension's fairly,
Yeah.
That's common.
it's fairly common.
Yeah.
So, saying that, would council want all of these extensions to be brought back moving forward? For the specific to the lake lots, if they've done some development, clearing, or did some work on it already?
If it's a general course of business, I don't think they need to in the first
Okay.
year, no.
Because normally in the
Right,
past,
you
what I
can
would do is
just
I would
approve
just
them.
approve them, but because we had this one as one of the items that were ongoing, that's why we thought this is the first request we had, we'll bring it to council,
Yeah.
I imagine there's gonna be quite a few coming.
for sure.
So we doing a resolution for this one, or you just,
I'll just move ahead.
I
so
think,
no resolution?
yeah, because it's already in the agreement,
Yeah,
right?
it is, basically. So we want to set that tone just to ensure that that's okay moving forward with council.
Yeah, as long as they've done some work and it makes sense.
Yeah, and most of them have cleared the lots. That was their first step, and some of them are waiting for the answer to the next question that we have bringing forward. So that's delayed a little bit of the plans.
That's the extension of the, or the reduction of the zoning.
Reduction, yeah.
Okay, so we are all on the same page on the extension
Yeah.
request?
Yeah.
We're all
As
good?
long as
Yeah.
they've done something, we're good to move forward.
Okay. Amendment to the zoning bylaw for the frontage.
Well, as a result of the conversation we had here and some of the information we've received back from the province, it's our zoning bylaw. So I think the answer is if council is wishing to move forward with putting the 75-foot setback, I say we take that leap and give first reading to the bylaw and follow the process of the zoning amendment.
I don't see any reasons why we wouldn't support that either, unless there's something that I'm missing.
That Brett seemed to say that they were gonna push back on it, but it is our bylaw.
It's our zoning bylaw.
Bylaw, so,
Environmentally, if it's not doing anything and it's safe, I don't know why we would really even.
and when we met with these people that one night about it and everything else, we asked them what they wanted. And this is what they came up with, like, and we thought it was reasonable at the time.
I just, that makes everybody happy.
What
Yeah.
are the repercussions possible that we know?
Basically, we're gonna wait back to hear from the province, like if we give it the motion to move forward with the amendment to our zoning bylaw, they're gonna have their say in it, and at that point, council can decide if there's a problem with it or not.
Okay.
But until we get to that,
Public
yeah,
hearing.
there will be public hearings, but until we get to that point, we're not moving anywhere, so that was just why I brought this motion
Yeah.
forward, if this is our intention,
Yeah.
let's get moving on it.
And what is that timeline, do we know? I'm just wondering. like,
Probably
for
2
the-
months, it'll be right in
Yeah.
time, that's why we pushed it into this,
Okay.
to get this done, so that
Okay.
they can get ready for their spring build.
Okay, good, and that's, we're just making sure no one else is
We
gonna.
need 40 days.
Yeah,
Okay.
so about
Time
2 to 3
for it.
months, and people are waiting on this,
Yeah.
because that's gonna change the plans.
And I think we should be clear that this is a hard line now. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, you
This
know,
is the end.
we don't want you coming back and saying 50 feet, 25 feet, right? I understand, because even I was confused, there was some confusion at the outset, however it manifested itself. But the 75 feet is an act of good faith on behalf of the town of the Paw to settle this, so we can achieve the initial goal and get some homes built. We're all good with that?
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So the bylaw will come through. I'll start the process.
Chad,
Did he leave?
I think you went for coffee.
Oh, all right. Update on the spray park. Councilor Ward.
Just a few things. Some of the people in the neighborhood said that spring is coming and they wanted to know some things about the spray park. I didn't have the answers because I was not aware of anything with the spray park before. They will have a few concerns, and I went and looked at the parking lot, and yes, it is pretty big. They want to know if there is going to be any parking on the street or be none allowed. is the one thing. Is there going to be a person in attendance? And the reason they're saying that is because that park has a lot of people there all night long and everything, and they're scared of vandalism in the park. And hours of operation, will it be fenced? And they figure that there's just going to be a bunch of kids just dropped off, like whatever time the hours of operation are, like from 2 to 6 or something. And they wanted to know if there's going to be any washrooms, change rooms, or a maintenance building there. And I couldn't answer the questions, because I didn't really know anything about the spray park.
Where is the designated site?
The designated site is right across from Kribda's apartment. It's in, what's that?
Corner of St. Antoine
It's in
and
Charlevoix.
Charlevoix.
Right at the edge of
Oh, okay.
Centennial.
Centennial Park. And like Chad had mentioned before, there is quite a large parking lot, and I went and looked, and yeah, there is a pretty fair-sized parking lot.
Technically, right now, the town has nothing to do with it because it's not constructed yet. I get probably the best people to reach out to would be the actual spray park committee at this point. I know they have the finalized plans and they're gonna finish construction in the spring here. I don't know if we've been given a finalized plan.
They've pretty much been a plan, but I don't think it would hurt to have the new person or the chair of that committee come and make a presentation to council. Just as to what their expectations are.
Is David still involved?
Yeah,
He's very
He's the
well
main-
versed in
yeah.
this, and it would be worthwhile for David to come to it.
just so everybody hears
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
Person in attendance, there has been no talk of that in the past, hours of operation. I know when they were doing the development of it, they talked at a on-off switch at certain times, so that it can't be going all night. Fenced, I understand it was to be fenced, because it would be way too easy for someone to go through there with an ATV and,
Yeah, it's,
yeah. And there was no plans for washrooms on site. Granted, they may have something new to tell us, so if it's okay with council, I'd be more than happy to invite them.
yeah. No, sounds good.
Should have some kind of a washroom. For sure.
I don't know if there's a legal right that they have to have or not, but
Okay, Personnel Committee, update purchasing agent job description.
So at one time, we had the purchasing clerk, then we had an assistant for it. Now what we're doing is kind of meshing the two and hiring one person to do the work. At one point, we were doing an inventory. That's now been somewhat caught up. And we've revised the job description, because I think the last time it would have changed was been in the year of our Lord 1800.
Only one person had the
Yeah.
position, so.
So this, when the position, yeah, Al was the only one that we knew of. So when this position switched over now to the new person, we've revised the job description this time.
Any questions or comments, queries on the description?
So we would require a resolution.
So this is just the guy that's there, just changing
Yeah.
his job
Yeah,
title.
amalgamating a few, like, 'cause we
Yeah.
had, yeah,
Actually putting what
and
it actually
updating,
does.
yeah, updating.
to work.
Because before, I'm sure it was so outdated, there was things that weren't even being done in this era anymore.
Everybody's good with it?
yeah.
Okay.
And that's-
You know, guys, that's all we got. We got a couple of staffing things in camera. No, there'll be no business come out of it. Everybody gets to go home early, watch the Jets.
Thank you.
Say some little phrase. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Thanks for that, Brian. I keep forgetting about it. So, resolve that, we'll now move ourselves into the in-camera portion of the committee of the whole with Mayor Jakes in the chair to discuss matters requiring our attention.
All right, we're moved.
Oh, you sure? I can do it.